On the second day of creation, the world was covered in a luminous sheet of ice by day and a cloak of darkness by night. But under that cloak of darkness and the cold sheet of ice loomed Lucifer and the groaning dragons. They were still bitter and angry at their defeat in the spirit world. They looked for any opportunity to enact revenge. Lucifer particularly was angry and envious of Michael, for he had been given a new name of Adam and a new body that radiated like the star. He was infuriated that all the plants and animals would be named through him, and Adam and Eve would reign and rule over the earth, which he considered his rightful throne. And the more Lucifer and the dragon stewed and moaned, the ice creaked and cracked. It was not strong enough to hold the pressure of the tumultuous misery of hell. It boomed, crashed, and broke up until it was overcome by the swishy darkness below. The waters were overcome with darkness and fear until it became an abyss of gloom. And Lucifer saw at once the implications of this new power over the physical elements he had, and he exclaimed, "The Creator doesn't know the full extent of my power." And he at once began to play and toy with the sea like it was a rag doll. He made the waves rise up like mountains, then he sunk them back like vast valleys. He swayed it this way, that way, and inasmuch as the sea wanted to hold itself back and be peaceful and calm, it could not. It was at the whim and mercy of Lucifer. Lucifer would, as a joke, make the sea calm, and then would, without notice, whip it up into a great whirlwind, laughing as it aimlessly and fiercely went about. The sea stretched itself out, clamoring and clasping for any solid, firm foundation to secure itself. But there was nothing. It was a hopeless endeavor, for there was nothing but an endless, raging sea before it. Lucifer just laughed and mocked. "I will destroy the world or take it over with my power." Then the Creator spoke. His voice could be heard from a place where the sea waves stir not, from a place where the sun hath not seen yet. It came from all directions, saying, "Let the waters be divided." And then a great and mighty wind began to howl, whirled around like a cyclone, and ripping the water apart, separating the airy and exuberant waters up into the expanse, and squelching the heavy, dark, dense water below. The exuberant waters above began to dance and sing, for they were close to their Creator, and they rejoiced that with rainbows and sparkled like diamonds. But the waters below just became more dense and dark and violent. And they exclaimed and wailed, "Oh, woe be unto us, for we are imprisoned by the fierce and festering fears of Lucifer and his dragons. We are not found worthy to be in the presence of our Creator, and we're separated from our watery friends. And while their murky tears flowed downward, they tried to stretch upward into the expanse above, trying to reach their Creator. But Atom began to throw and sling lightning rods, soaring through the air, driving them downwards back to the earth again, as sobbing tears of rain and hail. All the followers of the creation were safely nestled up into the expanse in the sparkling temple where the ants were taking care of them. They could hear the raging storm outside their temple walls, and they were grateful for the hospitality of the ants, for their warm, delicious meals, while they were played the comforts of peaceful music. They were grateful for their teachings, that they could live peacefully in a chaotic world. But they also worried for Adam and Eve, and they enlisted the Creator, petitioning him that he intervene. Then the Creator spoke, calming the seas. O great abyss of the deep, he who is the great cauldron for all the sorrows of the world, I am delighted that you strive to clamber up and reach me and your watery friends. But you must understand that no unclean thing can dwell in my presence, and so you must ceaselessly feel the crash of the hard waters. You must gather up all the sorrows and misery within your cauldron of the world. But know also that I hear your cries and your sorrows, and I have mercy upon you. One day I shall call you to cleanse the world and to purify it from all its wickedness and sorrows, so that it will not be utterly destroyed. And because you are willing to absorb all the sorrows and the wickedness of the world, cleansing it from all sin, why, one day you will reunite with me and your watery friends. You will once again be fresh and pure like you once were, and all your salt and your gritty quicksand will become purified and cleansed from you. But when the sea had been satisfied with its mission and calling, the Creator then named the expanse above heaven and the great abyss of the deep, hell, as he had done in the spirit world. And all those who were the followers of the Creator's plan and the valiant warriors who had been born on earth lived in the heavens under the protection of the sparkling temple. And those that were followers of Lucifer and the dragons, and who had abandoned the plan of creation, were sent to the abyss of hell. And when the earth and the sea had been, and the storm was finished roaring, and the rains had stopped, and all had been calm, the sky turned red, and the earth's light began to fade, The sun and the moon and the earth and Adam and Eve drifted off into a deep sleep. Once again, this was the second time that Adam and Eve had counted night and day. It was the conclusion of the second day of creation. The ocean and the sky had been named and formed, and all the routes and pathways of the winds had been established. And all those who are able to hearken to the sea, the great cauldron of the sea, will come to understand the wisdom from its songs of woe. And all those who are able to hearken to the heavenly bodies above will rejoice in them devout hymns and holy psalms that are sung only by the just spirits who wear the victorious palms. The Second Day of Creation by Stephen M. To whoever is not listening to the sea this Friday morning, to whoever is cooped up in house, office, factory, or woman, or street, or mine, or harsh prison cell, to that person I come, and without speaking or looking, I arrive and open the door of the prison. A vibration starts up, vague and insistent. A great roar of thunder sets in motion, a rumble of the planet and the foam. The groaning rivers of the oceans rise. The star vibrates swiftly in its corona, and the sea beats, dies, and goes on beating. So drawn on by my destiny, I ceaselessly must listen to and keep the seas lamenting in my consciousness. I must feel the crash of the hard waves and gather it up into a perpetual cup, so that wherever those in prison may be, wherever they suffer the autumn's castigation, there I may be present with an errant wave. I move in and out of windows, and hearing me, eyes may lift themselves, saying, how shall I reach the sea? And I shall broadcast, saying nothing, the starry echoes of the wave, the breaking up of foam and quicksand, the rustling of salt withdrawing, the gray cry of seabirds on the coast. So through me, freedom and the sea will call in answer to the shrouded heart. A Poet's Obligation by Pablo Neruda.